Hello everyone, I am Rod and I am the game design instructor for the Academy of Entertainment Arts over at Dixie Hollins High School. If you are one of my students, it's Mr. Flowers to you, and welcome to this video tutorial. Good evening, folks. Today we're going to go over how to make clothing for your character. As you can see, my character is a bit on the nude side, and he needs, at the very least, a pair of pants to kind of get going. Now, depending on the outfit you're going to make, there are a few different approaches. If it's going to be something that's thicker, you might want to do some extrusions with it. If it's going to be just something pretty thin for like a game engine, it doesn't have to be like too crazy. But they're all going to be made along a similar path, which is to base it off of our body. You don't have to do it this way. For example, if I wanted to do pants with like a very crisp seam, I could just take a cube and shape it along here and then, bridge across and whatever. But if I do it that way, I have to do the UVs and everything on it. If I model based off of my character, and I look at my UV shell here, that's my face. Let me go grab the map 1. This is my body set. I have UVs already laid out for me. And this is really cool because when I go ahead and do this for my character to make the shirt or whatever I'm going to make, it's going to copy the UVs over. So let's get right to it. First things first, I'm going to clear my history. You can see this thing's huge. If you haven't cleared your history of your model in a while, I recommend doing so. Now again, if you have animations on your model, make sure that you hit non-deformer history. If you clear the regular history and you've already done skin weights and you've done blend shapes or any kind of animations on there, you might lose that information. So make sure you use non-deformer history. All right. And now I'm going to select an area that I want for my character's shirt. So I'm going to go into face mode. I do have symmetry mode on. If you don't know where that's at, it's in your tool settings right here. Toggle your tool settings on, go into symmetry, and then select the axis that you want to mirror. All right. And I will select just an area on my chest here. I'm going to make the shirt first. And I think for my character, I'm going to give him sort of like a ninja style tunic. So I'm going to hold shift, right click. I'm going to go to paint selected faces. This will make it so it's easier for me to select the geometry that I want. I'm going to paint the area that I think will make a good shirt. Make sure I get the back of my character. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this tool by hitting Q, and then I will finish the rest of this by hand. I'm just going to close that up there. Get rid of that line. Now again, you can make whatever clothing piece you want. Oh. This will work for me. Just make sure I have all my vertices here, or all my faces. Okay, that'll work. And now I'm going to extract these or duplicate these off my model. So I'm going to hold Shift, right click, I'm going to go down to Duplicate Face. Now that I have Duplicate Face on, I'm just going to grab this little blue arrow. I'm going to pull that just a little bit, and that's going to take that up off of my skin. Now, how far is up to you? Now, if you want this to be skin tight, for example, you were making something a little bit thicker, you could, instead of pulling that arrow, you could go into object mode, deselect the model, and then you have your shirt piece, and then hit the extrude button. And what this will do is give you some thickness to your shirt. Okay? Again, either way is up to you. I don't need my shirt to be this thick, so I'm going to do it this way. So instead of extruding, I'm just going to pull this arrow, and that gives me my local Z translation. And I'm just going to change that to 0.25, just so it's off the body a little bit, and you can see that there's a bit of a difference there. And since we pulled this off of the body, it does have the UVs already set for it. That's really handy. I'm going to do the pants next, and then we'll do some cleanup. For the pants, I'm just going to select everything that is not my torso. So here down to the ankles. Oh, it helps if I select the correct model here. So here down to the ankles. And you can see I ended up getting more than I really wanted, so I'm just going to marquee and deselect that. And in my perspective view, you can see that my shirt is covering more of my pants than I really want. Let me take a look. And actually, that's not too bad. That's probably going to be fine. All right. So now I'm going to go into object mode. I'm going to select the shirt. I'm going to put the shirt on its own layer. And call this shirt layer. Go ahead and hide that. Go back into face mode. Select my model. I'm just going to check and make sure that I have what I need. And that looks like it's pretty good all the way around. And I will do the same thing that I did before. I'm going to hold Shift, right click, and duplicate face. And I will come off the body 0.25. Although my character's not really wearing spandex, but it's alright. I will add wrinkles and folds to these as I go. Here's my pants. Put those on their own layer. Pants, shirt. And I do want my shirt to be a little bit bigger than my pants, but one step at a time. Now, I don't need all these subdivisions in this shirt. So I'm going to go on my back side here, do some cleanup. Turn my pants off. And depending on the situation that you have, you probably don't need to fix this, but I do. So I'm going to go into vertex mode, and I'm going to really start cleaning up some of these edges. So this one together. The way this is made is it's very skin tight, and I want this to be a bit loose on my character. Check the front. I'm going to make a collar, and the way that I'm going to do this is by adding some faces here. So I'm going to go into edge mode. So I'm going to grab these edges here, going to extrude, hit W, pull them up. I grab this edge, and I'm going to extrude. Now with that edge selected, I'm going to go back into symmetry mode and turn symmetry on. Turn the body off. All right, so one thing you might notice, before I fix that, one thing you might notice, if we try to turn the body off, it will hide the shirt. And the reason for that is whenever we do a duplicate face, it retains some of the history for where it came from. So what we have to do is remove the layer that it's currently on. So I'm going to delete the body layer. And now I will recreate the body layer. So body, layers, create from selected. Call that my body layer. So now I should be able to separate the body. Okay. All right, continuing on. So this, I need to adjust the vertices. I'm going to take the vertex of this point. Now, I do get a triangle, but I'm going to make it a quad, and I'll show you how. I'm going to go ahead and cut this from here to here. I'm going to cut a point onto here, cut a point onto there. Now, even though I have symmetry mode on, I'm not getting a perfect result here. That means I'll have to cut this in manually. So here to here. I'm just going to sew this edge to the corner. So here to here. And there to there. There's that collar piece. And I can continue this on by doing this. I can take this cutting tool, cut here, and then there. Finish that edge. That's rare. I got a perfect cut. Wasn't expecting that. All right, let's grab these. So there's that V for the neck of the collar. I can put my body back on. Make sure it lines up. It does. Okay. I'm gonna grab these back vertices here. Looks like I have something selected internally. Oh, there it is. Turn the body off. I have something selected that shouldn't be. I don't see anything else, but okay. I'm going to hold X and I will snap these, and that will pull my collar up. And then I'll do the same thing to the bottom here. Grab this bottom row. Hold X, I will snap it down. All right. Now, as far as how many edges and everything that we have, that has to do with whatever your needs are. I don't need this many subdivisions on here. So what I could do is I could reduce some by picking edges that I don't need. For example, on the back, I could probably do every other edge and get away with it pretty cleanly. Like this group in here, I don't even need them. I could take them out. This row here, let's see what happens. Here we go. This row, get rid of that. This row, I think I'll leave that one. That one I can leave. That one I'll leave. That one I can get rid of. So this little area here, that's for the divot in my collarbone and my character's shoulder muscle, I don't really need that either. In the shirt, it doesn't need to be that pronounced. You know, the character, it's okay. But here, I can just get rid of these. So I'm going to take my target weld tool, go into vertex mode, and I will target weld these vertices. Now that does leave me with a bunch of n-gons, as you can see. What's kind of cool is I can cut away any vertex that is not combined by more than two edges. So for example, this vertex I can just delete. This one I cannot delete. It'll give me an error. Knowing that, I can just select the entire model here and just hit delete, and it will cut away all of the bad vertices. And then this area, I don't need that really either. So what I think I'll do is I'll grab this edge here. Go ahead and cut that one off. And then this edge, get rid of that one. So then it's just a matter of these. I'll go ahead and cut those off. And these ones, I'm going to get rid of the extra vertices. Clean these up. And turn my model back on. I'm going to look for any areas where it's cutting through the body. Right here. Now I do have an n-gon here. I'm just going to fix that by cutting an edge. So I'm going to grab my multi-cut tool, and I will cut from here to here. And I will do that on this side. That's twice that I managed to do that. I'm surprised. So as I'm looking around the model here, I did notice an extra edge that I want to get rid of. It's just this one. So I have that one. Okay. Vertex mode, I'll get rid of the extra vertices. Now this is me being nitpicky on my character and his clothes, but you can make yours however you like. Alright, so to get rid of this back area, see how it's bent in with his body? I'm going to go into sculpting, and then I'm going to turn off my little UV panel here, but this tool is the lift to surface tool, and then I have this one is smooth tool. It evens out overall detail. I'm going to grab the smooth tool. It's going to give me this little brush here, You can change the brush size by holding B and then click and dragging. We have some influence controls here, and if I just kind of paint on this, you can see it's starting to do some stuff. If I turn the body off, you can see it bends in, and that flattens it out. I'm going to undo that, just because I do want mirroring on, so I'll turn mirroring. Oops, let me get that. Okay, I'm going to turn mirror on in the X, so whatever I do here should happen over there. And I will go and grab the lift to surface tool. And I was going to pull that. And that's a little bit stronger influence than I want, so I'm going to undo, go down to strength. I'm going to make this a 2. Let's see how that works. Get the middle of the back here. And this will let me pull the shirt out of the model. Any rough areas you can go into smooth mode. So I'm going to grab the smooth tool. And I will very gently try to smooth this out. The strength is set to 100, so I'm going to Control Z and I will back this down to 25. On the chest here, you can see it's going through. Now if this gets tedious and it's difficult for you to see, you can always drop a color on here. So I'm going to go into rendering. I'm going to drop on a Lambert. I'm just going to call this shirt color. Later we can create a texture map for this, but I'll just say shirt color for now. And he's kind of ninja-like, so I'm going to do black. I won't make it solid black, I'll make it like that. There we go. Go back into my tool here. Under sculpting, I'm going to lift. Now, if you ever do something you want to undo it, you can Control Z, but you can also hold Shift, and then it'll do it in reverse. Okay. Let's get the back of the character here. So there's his little tunic. And now I'm going to do the pants. So I'm going to turn the tunic off. So there's my little shirt. Turn that off. I'll turn the pants back on. Make sure we save. Now with the pants, I'm going to do kind of the same deal. I'm going to clean up the geometry and remove what I don't need. So this back area, you can see these triangles that I end up having. I no longer need those. If you don't have these, you can skip forward to something more useful to you. But I'm going to fix this geometry. So fix those, fix those, fix those. So there's that. And I will get rid of extra edges I don't need. So that one I don't need. Probably get rid of every other edge row on these. Looks good. That loop I'll need. Okay. And then I'll remove the extra vertices. And I will paint the pants. So I'm going to grab the pants here. I will drop on. I'm just going to use the same shirt color for now. So I'm going to assign existing material. I'll throw on the, where is my shirt? There it is. Go back into my sculpting tools, and I'll grab my pull to surface. And I'll go ahead and do that. Now my character is kind of ninja-like, so these pants are going to be more like baggy in certain areas and puffy. So it's okay for me to go out and be a little creative with it. I'm going to turn the shirt back on, just so I can make sure I'm not clipping into the shirt. Alright, so this is where I'm going to change the color of the pants just so I can see. Rendering, I'll drop on its own Lambert. Call this pants color. And I'm just going to make these like a, I don't know, bluish gray, just so I can see them. I'll change the color later. Put the shirt back on. So the pants are going through the shirt. Go back to sculpting. I'll do a quick smooth. Now, as you sculpt, you do not have to be in symmetry mode. If you're doing like pants or something like that, where there's going to be bagginess and wrinkles or whatever, you don't necessarily want it to be even. Some asymmetry will sell it better. So keeping that in mind, I may end up turning that off. Pull that back to surface. I'm going to go around the waist here. I'm going to go into vertex mode. I'm going to grab the waistband. And I'm just going to level this off. I'm going to go into Move Tool, hold X, and just snap these up. Pull them back down. All right. Go back into object mode. And I will grab my pull to surface tool. There we go. I'm going to make these a little more baggy here. And then back here where the pants are really open, I'm going to grab that smooth tool, see if I can pull these vertices in. I'm just trying to be careful to not clip into the skin. Drop my brush down, just going to smooth out that area. So with the shirt back on, I'm going to try to bag out the shirt a little bit. I'm going to select this, and grab the pull tool, bring my brush size up. There we go. Okay. So there's my pants and my shirt, and then I can check my UVs just to make sure they're good. So UV editor. Here's my shirt. Now you can see as I was cutting some things away and merging that they did get a little bit foobar, but that's fine. We can select a piece in the front here. I'm just going to double click the shell. I'm going to move that off. Go into UV mode. Double click the shell. Go ahead and move that off. Move this one off as well. Okay. So now with this one selected, I'm going to go to face mode. Go ahead and select that. UVs. Go down to planar. I'm going to take a picture from the front. So my front is Z. Hit apply. So there's that new shirt. And that's a lot quicker than having to go through and do it from scratch. I'll just go into UV mode again, grab my tool, smooth tool. There we go. Just in case, I will do these. Face mode. Grab those. We'll project those again from the planar. UV mode, and then I will just select my tool, smooth, then I will unfold. Remember, if it goes inside out, it's just backwards. Just flip it. Select your UVs, get your tool. There we go. Front and back of the shirt. We can lay those out on the shell any way that we want. So there are my two shells. Do the same thing for the pants. All right, so there are our pants. And these don't look like they need too much work. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to project them from the front and the back. So I'll grab these. Go ahead and turn off the shirt. UVs. I'm going to do a quick planer from the front. I'm going to go into edge mode. And again, you don't have to do it this way. I'm just going to do it to make painting a little bit easier. Cut that line. And then halfway through on this leg, cut that line. Polygons. Cut UV edges. Remember that I do have symmetry mode on, so when I select one side, I'm selecting the other. Let's see how these unfold. Tool, smooth. Those ones go inside out, so we'll just flip them. Now you might be wondering about why I did it this way. And there's no particular reason other than to show you that you can do it this way. On pants, there will be a seam on this outer edge as well as the inseam, depending on what kind of pants you have. For example, jeans and cargo pants tend to have a seam along both the inner and outer edges. So that'll work just fine. And I can paint those on. But this is easier to paint pants in this fashion. So like if you have camouflage for whatever reason, it'll be easier to paint and match it up here than it would be having the shell split into multiple pieces. Or if you wanted to do pockets, lining them up is easier if it looks like a pair of pants. It's just to make texturing life a little bit easier. Skin isn't such a big deal because it's not one uniform color, it's a few blended different colors. Whereas pants can be, or clothing, can be a bit tricky. I'm just going to rotate this shell so that I can do basically one leg inside the other kind of deal, but I want to maximize the space that I have. So I'm going to grab these and I will shrink them down just a little bit. Hopefully that's just enough that I can put these guys. If I can't separate, I will do. Yeah, because that doesn't look like it's going to work the way I want. So I will just get them on the outer edge. And there are my pants. Now, if you were making an outfit of some sort that had a matching set with the pants and the top, there's no reason why you couldn't put them on the same UV set. For example, if I took the pants here and the shirt, and then arrange them, say, with a layout tool. Now, if I had this as a matching outfit, I could go through and paint all this and make it fancy. Either way is up to you. Remember, you are the artist, you have a lot of control over this. But this is how to set up some basic clothing and get the UVs all prepped. But I will see you guys next time, and we will be adding bones to our model. All right, I'll see you then.